So The Curse is a Showtime series from 2023. I mean, it defies categorization, but it's about a couple played by Emma Stone and Nathan Fielder. They're making eco-friendly homes in a poor neighborhood in New Mexico, and also making a reality show as they do it. Created by Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie, and you guys directed episodes 2, 3, and 4. This was an incredible TV show, a tone that you've never seen anything like it before. How did you guys end up becoming involved in it?
Well, we had known Benny Safdie from film festivals years ago, and so he had a familiarity with us from that. But yeah, it was a really interesting process because it was the first thing been a part of that wasn't our own, and those guys are geniuses and very much dialed into this very specific tone. So I don't know, on our end, it was just trying to come in and just help what we could to facilitate that vision.
Can I just ask you about like one scene from each episode? I'm obsessed with this television show. It's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, so in episode 2, right, there's a scene where Dougie, played by Benny Safdie, who we've not seen previously outside of his being with Asher and Whitney, and suddenly like we're on like a first date with him, and he's retelling a story of a crash that he wasn't legally responsible for, even though he had been drinking, and he's got this kind of nervous grin on his face, and then as it goes on, you find out his wife died in the crash. Um, as you say, Benny Safdie, and you've had conversations with him as the writer of the show. But now he's like behind all the rings and stuff. He's got that long hair and whatnot. Is he sort of disappearing behind the character, or is he kind of getting stuck in with creative thoughts and stuff?
He's good at multitasking, I think, and they clearly knew what they wanted, so it was just helping to, deliver that. But that is one of my favorite scenes in the whole thing, in all of the episodes, was that the restaurant scene, and then the car ride after with Dougie. It's so hilarious and painful, and he's the performance is so good in it too, because it could, if he was, played. It could be very smug, and then it wouldn't mean anything. But the fact that there's definitely like pain behind that with his character, that he's masking with lies to himself and alcohol and everything, it suddenly is. It's it has many more layers to it.
And in episode 3, right, the episode ends with this scene where Emma Stone playing Whitney, who, I mean, she's just incredible in the role, isn't she? I mean, just extraordinary. And Asher, her husband, played by Nathan Fielder, and they have this sort of bit of fun with taking a jumper off, and like you finally see them sort of relaxed and having a sort of bit of banter, and then they try and recreate it for. She's like, "I'll put it on my Instagram," and it kind of descends into this kind of. It kind of becomes very awkward, uncomfortable, and stuff. It's a scene that really kind of encapsulates so much of the stuff that Nathan Fielder seems to be like obsessed with. The kind of manufacturing reality and like reenacting things and repetition and stuff. It's kind of a microcosm for all of his work he's ever done in a way.
Yeah. No, that's another. Well, the scripts were so good. I mean, I think I don't know. Sometimes with some TV shows, they're kind of writing as they go. I don't know. The scripts were so good, and that scene, I remember just from the first time we read them, that scene stood out as funny and cringy as what was on screen.
Yeah, definitely what he's yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's like his his obsession with making fake things seem real and vice versa, and just how like absurd that can be and that all is. And I think that's one of the things we really liked about the show is it used like everyone else at that mostly everyone else that was in it was locals or definitely not like actors from like you have Emma Stone and who's this amazing actress and she's playing this version of of a woman that you want to like but can't ever
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and but it's all done with that same sort of like realism, so you're still kind of like whatever bizarre situations that they're going through and these people that you're trying to like connect with them and they're constantly like making you not want to do that.
Yeah.
um And I think that's kind of like what's cool about Nathan's work is like these people that they don't feel real, but they are, and that's what's kind of upsetting about it.
Yeah, it was also sort of reminiscent of that scene from Nathan for You where he's making the woman read the script to him, and she's making her say "I love you" over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah.
And look, finally, in episode 4, like I was watching it again yesterday, and the laugh I did was huge, but also like this uncomfortable feeling, which is again like nothing else I've ever come across before. When Asher goes to the corporate comedy class,
Yeah.
and they're given this instruction, the course leader says that you need to make people laugh by without any words, to do a gesture or pull a face, and he does like a muscle man thing, and people are like pulling faces, and then it gets to Asher, and he makes it. He pulls his ears and makes this noise, something along those lines, and it's just like excruciating. Like, is there a whole roll of tape where that Nathan Fielder does different noises?
I can't remember. I think it was pretty much that, but he obviously knew what he wanted to do with it, and and I think that was another favorite scene as well because there was so. I mean, they were so great with the casting, the mix of professional actors and people that were just real, and that were not actors and kind of already played versions of themselves, and like that one, it was I think the comedy teacher was the comedy teacher,
Oh, really?
and
Oh,
so I think
interesting.
so, yeah, and so they're just so smart with it with the cast like that, and so it just it adds to the sense of realism, with it, and so by the time it gets to his reaction, you're completely buying into it.
Yeah, and the way you shoot that as well, the camera kind of tracks around the circle as people do their gestures, and you get a feel for it the first couple, and then the camera goes to him, and there's still some people to go who we don't see,
Oh yeah,
who
yeah.
do their gestures, and people laugh, and the next person does a gesture, and someone laughs, but you're on Nathan Fielder, who's just getting more. It's getting more and more tense, and he's getting more and more anxious, and it's just like masterfully done of him. It's like then you get that payoff at the end. Like again, great job.
That's cool. Yeah, that was one of our favorite shots to do, that tracking shot there. That was cool.